Hello, everyone. Hello. How are we all today? Sorry, I'm just having a hot chocolate, really nice. I thought I'd set the mood for tonight. And oh god, I can already see with Rihan. I can already see that we've just had a spam of Rihan comments. Rihan, if you continue to spam, I will have to block you for a few minutes because spamming is not acceptable. Anyway, I'll go back to my intro. Yeah, welcome everyone. I thought I'd set the mood there, a bit of a Christmassy mood, having a hot chocolate and everything, and I will be doing kind of a Christmas-themed live stream around Christmas time. We'll have some Christmas decorations in the background, hopefully. I'll have a Christmas jumper on. I'll be with my trusty hot chocolate, and we'll have a good time. But for now, we'll just be doing normal questions. I don't know if I'll do anything special for the Christmas one. I might do a Christmas quiz or something. And tell me, do you want me to bring back quizzing? Because that was quite fun. We had a good time, like guess the theme tune and things like that, or whatever. We did a Star Wars quiz, I think, once. I just can't read all those, Rehan. I'm just going to say hello to everyone. I've got Hector here. Welcome, Hector. Hello. How are you? Film Geek 13 and Alex Pitt. How are we all doing today? And Hector says, I like your haircut. Thank you very much, Hector. I think when I first got it, a little too much was off, but now it's kind of grown a bit more. I think it's nice, yeah. But what have you put here, Rehan? You put some very nice things. Favorite YouTuber, thank you very much. My music video, thank you. Who do we have here? Here, Rehan again. He says, do you know the WWE diva Sasha Banks in The Mandalorian? Yeah. I do think so, because a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, look at Sasha Banks in The Mandalorian. And I was thinking, who is Sasha Banks? Why is everyone going crazy over this person, this actress who's just got a really small role in the show? She's, I thought she would be playing kind of a big role. Like, I think she was in the Mandalorian trailer and everyone was like, that's Sasha Banks. Who could she be playing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, okay, I've never heard of Sasha Banks before. And then I somehow found out that she's actually from WWE. And that's why everyone's kind of focusing on her, because she's from WWE. But yeah. And Joshua Boyd says, quizzing would be cool. It would. Yeah, we had a good time quizzing. And during lockdown, I was doing quizzing and things when I started this kind of live stream series up. So we could try that again, because it's mainly just either I got a guest, which is some, more interesting, because it does take a little longer because we've got a guest. So obviously, if someone asks me a question, I also say, what do you think as well, whoever we have guest. And I will have a guest during the Christmas holidays as well. But yeah, just to make things more interesting as well. But Hector's just put, I rewatched Logan this past weekend since theatres. What does it say? I rewatched Logan this past weekend since theatres. Is that since theatres are closed or since theatres are showing Logan? Anyway, you still think it's phenomenal. I should probably watch Logan again. I should probably watch a few more superhero movies again, because I've kind of not been neglecting them, but I've just been focusing my time on more other films as well, rather than Marvel. I mean, they're still fun. I just focusing my time on more of the films. But yeah, I would like to kind of watch Infinity War or Endgame again as well, because they're fun films. But like I said, oh yeah, I meant since I saw it in the theaters back in the day. I see. Great. Anyway, Alex says, I really like your video. What are you watching in November? It must have taken ages to... Yes. And thank you. I'm so glad everyone is giving me great feedback on that, because it was a new thing for the channel. And Alex, I enjoy your videos as well on the what I watched in the month videos, because I thought, oh, I really enjoy these. I might try it out for myself. And it was kind of something new for the channel. I didn't think people are going to even enjoy this. And it was overwhelmingly positive. And I thank you for your comment, Alex. And it did take a long time to edit, but right, what I'm going to do now is each time I watch a film, because every time in the video when I talk about a film, like a thing pops up with the poster and the rating and everything, I'm going to create that as I watch the film, so that would considerably cut down the editing for me. And the clip was about 30 minutes long, so I actually got it down to 20 minutes. It was kind of just because I was looking on Letterboxd as well, so I could do them in the right order and refresh my thoughts on the film as well. So those were kind of like bits in between films where I would be looking and things. So yeah, it did take a long time to cut down and edit, but I will be now every time I watch a film going and making that, like I said, so we can cut down the editing time, because it took me hours to edit. But yes, thank you so much for all the feedback and everything. I'm glad you appreciated how long it would take to edit as well. Rihan's put, my parents said I can have alone time. Well, okay. Hopefully that isn't a punishment. Hopefully, you know. Oh, we've got a good question from Joshua Boyd. What is your favorite Mafia gangster film? I love Mafia gangster films. I love crime films, but especially the Mafia films. Love them. Goodfellas, Godfather, Once Upon a Time in America, Scarface, the list goes on, and it's full of these iconic actors, Pacino, De Niro. Oh, I love them. Some of my favorite films of all time. My favorite ones have got to be Goodfellas, Godfather Part 1 and Part 2. They're kind of my favorite ones. Really love them. And I just saw here, we've got Untitled James watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, James. He says, how's it going on my lunch break at work? It's going very well. Thank you, James. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. But yeah, that is my answer, Joshua. Goodfellas and the two, not Godfather Part 3, sorry. But I want to watch Godfather Part 3 again. I've only seen it once. And then I'm going to get the new kind of re-edited version and see kind of how that compares, how that holds up. Is it better? Is it worse? Because I don't really remember much from Godfather Part 3. I've only seen it once. I've seen the first two like loads of times because they are phenomenal films. But yeah. Rihan says, sorry for being the early bird in the chat. No problem, Rihan. Just don't spam as much. You know, just looking up here, there was so many. Just don't spam. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Film Geek 13, he says, just wanted to give a thanks for your post showing A Clockwork Orange. I'm so grateful for the opening my eyes to it. Absolute masterpiece. Definitely my favorite film of all time. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about my Instagram post? Yeah, because I've started to kind of just take a picture of like one evening if I'm going to watch a Criterion or an Arrow, I'll just take the Blu-ray out, take a photo of it, because Elliot Cohen does that as well. Not so frequently anymore, and I really like those, so I thought I'd do it as well. So sorry for copying you, Elliot. I'm not an entirely original person, quite evidently. But yeah, I really like those posts. I really like them. I don't know why. They're quite cool. I think it's quite cool to post more on Instagram, because I post a lot of stuff on my story on Instagram, but I don't actually post that many individual actual posts. So I thought I'd do that. So it seems that me posting that, because I usually just post like a quick thing, like, what do you think of this? I usually ask a question, like on A Clockwork Orange, I did ask the question, what do you think of this masterpiece? Because I think it is a masterpiece, and I'm glad you agree, Film Geek 13. I'm so glad that I've encouraged you to watch it. So glad, because it is incredible, because it's Kubrick and he's a master. Mikey B says, just got my first Criterion, The Life Aquatic, The Fisher King, Punch Drunk Love. Do you recommend any for someone starting a collection like me? Thank you. Well, that's really great. Well done for getting your first Criterion. And similarly, Mikey, one of my first Criterions, my first Criterion, in fact, was The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou and Dr. Strangelove. And you've asked, recommend any for someone starting a Criterion collection. Well, like I said, like I've always been saying, always start with what you know, like I did. I got Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou. I've already seen that film. I've already seen both of the films. I was very familiar with the directors, very familiar with the films. And then I kind of discovered different Criterion channels and things, and they gave recommendations to films that I would never have heard of. And I'm hoping to kind of try and implement that into my videos as well, to try and just, talk about those films, like whenever I buy, like with my 3 for £30 Criterion sale thing. I did a video on that, and I actually spoke about like maybe one film, it was Sawdust and Tinsel, but I wish I could have watched all of them and spoken about all of them because they're all foreign, I think. And I'm sure some of them might be complete masterpieces, and it's great just to say blah, 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 about this film and to inspire people to go out and buy them and enjoy them. Well, hopefully they enjoy them. So I'm trying to implement that more, especially with my what I watched in the month as well video. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Mikey. Rian asks, did you see my new video? I think I saw you upload it, like the thumbnail thing about, what was it, a clip from a film? But Taco Boy is here. He says, so close to 1K. Can't wait for you to hit the milestone. Thank you, Taco Boy. Yes, we are approaching on about 847 subscribers, I think. It's great. I can't believe it. This year I've gained so many. I mean, I started the year in 400. I've just literally doubled my subscribers in 7-8 months, just because I was posting constantly and connecting with the Blu-ray community. So it's great to be a part of it. It's great. It's just so good. So great to be a part of it. And Rian says, I look like John Cena. All right. Thank you. Letterboxd is such a good app for film fans. Oh, so do I, Alex. Really great. That's why I decided this year to upgrade to Patreon, because I've been a pro member for 2 years and I thought this is the year I upgrade to Patreon because the app is so good. I really want to give back to the people who made Letterboxd because they did a fantastic job. It's the app I use the most. I love it when I see people watching things, reading reviews, writing reviews, making lists. It's perfect. It's great. So please follow me on that as well. The link is in the description, actually, if you don't know what my name is. I also watched Borat for the first time, and it's quite wild. Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny in parts. I never really laughed out loud on that film. Just going to have to keep on remembering about this with me. The last thing you want is a cold hot chocolate. That's the last thing you want. It's still warm. Got to try and drink all of this before it goes cold. And Darius is here. Hello, how are you? Hector says, do you think cinemas need to evolve with the times? That's an interesting... I don't know how you would... I don't know how they would evolve with the times, really. I mean, I'm sure someone will, at some point, mention the HBO Max deal thing. So I think I should just bring it up now, because I think Hector's question kind of relates to that. So I'll bring it up now because it's a massive point of discussion. I didn't make an individual video out of it, but I think I would, probably give my opinion on it to you all. And it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed opinion. I'm really not sure what I do think. It's got some positives, but it's also got some negatives. And I really don't know what's going on with it now because Legendary is suing Warner Brothers. People, Keanu Reeves and all these other people are getting mad at Warner Brothers for not getting their bonuses and things like that. So hopefully Warner Brothers doesn't make a fool of themselves because they did that great big trailer. Look at us, we're the best streaming service, and now it looks like it's not going too great for them, especially with Christopher Nolan's comments as well, calling them the worst streaming service. Well, they are actually not great since they're just available in the US. Maybe they'll roll out into other countries. Hopefully they do. But what do I think of it? I think it's interesting. I don't think cinemas are going to die. And for some films on that, because their entire slate of films are going on HBO Max, some of them could have just gone on HBO Max anyway. Like, I don't know, Tom and Jerry. I wasn't going to go out and watch it at the cinema. Dune, on the other hand, I will watch at the cinema. That is just a cinema experience film. I will not watch Dune on HBO Max if it ever comes out in the UK. I'll never watch that first. No way in hell. I've got to watch it in the cinema first. And then if I love it, I'll probably watch it maybe a few more times, but definitely on HBO Max because it gives people that option. And now people are scared. Okay, now people have got this option of streaming in the comfort of my own home where no one is eating popcorn really loudly, where no one is kind of very rudely on their phone, in the comfort of my own home, safe, not getting sick with coronavirus. Or go out to the cinema, risk it, but again, have that great cinematic experience that you can only get at the cinema. And people are thinking, well, maybe people will just want to sit at home and watch films, but films will always be made. And I've said this before, I think on Twitter and things. Last year, 2019, was one of the best years financially for film. It got like 9 films got over $1 billion at the box office. Some got $2 billion. We had Avengers Endgame, the highest grossing film of all time. You can't make that money with a streaming service. You can't. Disney can't. Disney have got most of the films in that list are Disney films. And I think because everyone wants to be Netflix, don't they? Disney Plus wants to be Netflix, the new Netflix, making Netflix money. And I did hear that something like Netflix makes $1 billion per year. So what would you do? Would you trade all your theatrical releases into Disney Plus and then just get possibly $1 billion a year, or put them out in the cinema and get $5 billion per year or whatever, because they had Frozen 2, they had Endgame, they had, I think, every Marvel film that year made over $1 billion. They had Star Wars, they had Lion King, they had so many, they made so much money. Those films will, those big films, when things go back to normal, will not be dropped on Disney Plus just for the sake of it. They will go back to cinemas, and hopefully, people will go back, because there won't be a Disney Plus. They're not going to do Warner Brothers thing. Even though that's happening, they're not going to stick to that, hopefully. And hopefully Warner Brothers does turn the off switch on this thing. Anyway, hopefully, I don't know. I'm sure some people here have put some of their comments on it. Hector's put, I meant how before the pandemic ticket sales hasn't always been amazing in recent items, and many people are. I just meant how before this pandemic ticket sales hasn't always been amazing in recent items, and how not many people have been going. Right. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think of it. Where are we? Yeah. I'm sure I'm missing something out, because I did have more thoughts, but now I'm on the spot. It's like, what do I think of it now? No, it's all right, Hector. Just say typos. Anyway, we've got some more comments, so let's read them. We've got Ronald James says, was there anything good about Cannibal film you watched? Seemed kind of awful in the description. Yeah, last night I watched Cannibal Holocaust, which has quite the reputation. In fact, I do believe the director was put on trial. He was put on trial because the people, I think it was the Italian government or someone, thought that in the film it actually depicted people being killed or something like that. And so, is there anything good about Cannibal Holocaust? I watched it last night and I didn't like it. It's incredibly shocking, really shocking. There's some really shocking things. I had to look away at some point. I do actually think there was some animal cruelty in there. Like, we straight up just see some animals get killed, murdered, in really disgusting ways. The main thing is, all the characters in the film are really unlikable. I just hate everyone because they do so many horrible things, except for maybe this professor guy who has a certain set of morals. He has a certain set of morals, but he's still annoying. He's still stupid. And then the acting's bad, and the tribal people, they just, the actors who played these tribal people were also not doing a good job at all. I just feel, what was it? I thought of something last night when I was thinking about it that could have made the film better, because it's kind of about finding like these tribes that are in kind of Stone Age era, when we're in like, the modern era. And I was thinking about, how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that is the most disturbing film I've ever watched. And I think the reason why is because it could happen to me, but I'm not going to be wandering into a jungle and discovering a tribe of crazy cannibals. But I could see the commentary the film was going for, which was interesting, but the final line was a bit on the nose. So hopefully that answers your question, James. Rehan says, almost finished filming my YouTube movie. Well, good luck with that, Rehan. I'll definitely check it out. Joshua Boyd says, did you ever watch A Bronx Tale? If it's on Amazon Prime Video, I personally really enjoyed it and would recommend. Yeah, it's on my list for Amazon Prime, so I'll check that out. I believe De Niro directed it. Right, this is This drink, dark chocolate, it's kind of in the middle now. I feel like if I leave it any longer, it could just go cold. I should have put it in my water bottle, because this keeps things warm or cold for like 24 hours. So probably should have put it in my water bottle. But I do like the mug. The mug's festive. That is not a festive water bottle. Anyway, moving on. Film 13. If there was a yesterday situation on Kubrick cease to exist except in your mind, would you try to recreate the films yourself? Oh, that's a good question, Film Geek 13. That's a really good question, because if anyone's like wondering what's going on, in the film Yesterday, basically, I think a guy hits himself on the head. I don't know how it happens. I forgot, but basically, he's the only person that can remember the Beatles, and so he recreates their music and gets famous, and everyone thinks he wrote those songs. Because no, everyone's forgotten the Beatles except for him. And so, would I recreate his films? It would be really hard to, because wouldn't you have to go off memory, or could I just? I've got the Blu-rays here, so couldn't I just? Or would the Blu-rays be like erased? If the Blu-rays were still there, then I would just watch the film and then do it. But gosh, that would be hard, because that would be hard. I mean, if I were to do it, I don't know, because I haven't memorized all of Kubrick's films, funnily enough. That's an interesting question for me. I probably, depends where I am, really. You got to get the budget for things. But say if I was an established director, blah 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 blah, down on my luck on making films, and then all of a sudden that happened to me, I'd probably give it a shot, actually, because I'm a selfish person and I don't respect Kubrick, and plus no one remembers him in this alternate reality. Trust me, I respect Kubrick. The clip you say was something like, yes, I saw that, Rehan. Just got into Letterboxd, actually quite enjoying it. Finished listing off my Blu-ray and DVD collection and have done a couple of rankings too. Yeah, that's useful. I use it to keep track of all my Blu-rays. My entire collection is in one list, so it helps me keep track of how many's in there, what's in there. It's really good. Precut Films is here. Hello, how are you? Darius, what is your favourite Sal film poster? I really like Anatomy of a Murder. I really like that poster. Yeah, I'll probably go with Anatomy of a Murder. Dream Buzz, howdy, hello there. I'm finally going to see Tenet this Saturday. Being lucky to avoid spoilers for this long. I'm really looking forward to finally see it. Yeah, you are lucky to avoid spoilers for this long, but I believe it's on Monday, Film Geek 13. The film comes out on 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, but again, it is a really good theatre experience or cinema experience. So enjoy it in the cinema, because it's great watching it at the cinema. And I've only seen it once, unfortunately. I wanted to watch it again at the cinema, but at least I was lucky enough to watch it when it first came out. But I will probably, because I'm at college the day that I get the post, so I would have liked to have done the kind of unboxing thing of the HMV first edition 4K of Tenet on that day, but I'll have to wait a while. I'll get it. I don't know. Don't know if I'll do an unboxing for that. Maybe. But anyway, hope you enjoy it, Film Geek 13. Alex, thanks for commenting on my video about the possible death of cinemas the other day. It's always nice to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I really like your channel, Alex. I'm really glad that you've decided to go out and add to the conversation, or your thing, welcome to the conversation, or the thing you say. It's really good, because the thing about, kind of doing the YouTube channel, making it your own, it's going to be individual to you and unique, so people would actually enjoy your content. I say, have my kind of catchphrase, if you will, what's going on, guys? I'm the filmmaker and I love movies, and things like that, where when you hear that, you think of the YouTuber. So it's good. It's really good, Alex. Keep it up. Pretty Good Film says, just watched 12 Angry Men for the first time and it was fantastic. I need to watch that. I'll probably watch it before the end of the year, because I got the Criterion Blu-ray for my birthday, and Everyone's saying it's fantastic. I've seen some people at Letterboxd watch it. They said it was great. So I'm going to have to watch it soon because I've got it. I've got no excuse not to watch it. Oh, it's borderline cold now. Oh dear. Anyway, Waste is here. Hello. Got that. Jack Henshaw. Hello. Do you what? Okay. How are you so cool? I don't know. It must come naturally. Have you seen The Deer Hunter? Hunter Crawford says. I have seen The Deer Hunter. And look, Archie Hicks. It's my 5th favorite film review channel. Hello, Archie. Hopefully you're still here. Sorry I took so long to get to your comment. Anyway, have I seen The Deer Hunter? I have. It's really good. I want to watch it again. I've seen it twice, I think, but it's in my mind. I love the music to it. The music kind of comes in my head, and I just find myself whistling the theme tune thing as I'm walking around the house. Yeah. Anyway, The Void. What is this? Nico Ramic. It's pretty disturbing and could happen. Is that a film? Let me find that. Disturbing. Nick. Oh, here it is. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, it's got quite mixed reviews on Letterboxd. Death is just the beginning. I might add that to my watch list, actually. I enjoy watching I love having an experience of a film, whether that be a positive one or a very disturbing, negative and harrowing one. It's just the joy and love of film. Anyway, Ben Fluton says, have you seen the movie Wanted? If so, what are your thoughts? Wanted, I haven't seen that. I'm sorry, Ben, but I'm going to search it up now. See what it is. Is it kind of this action one with a woman holding a gun? Because there's that one, which most people have seen on Letterboxd. I can see Alex Pitt has watched it as well. So, no, but I haven't seen it. It's got Angelina Jolie and Morgan. Wow, it's got quite a good cast. Must be that one. But no, I haven't seen it now. Anyway, Hector says, which tragic event in the world would you like to see Tarantino try to rewrite history for? That's an interesting one. Tragic event happen in the world. Depends what you the extent of tragic. I mean, it would be interesting to see Tarantino's kind of pandemic film. Because he's done the World War II, focused kind of on. He didn't really focus on the Holocaust in that film, not all, but it was set in kind of World War II because he could focus on the Holocaust more. That is one of the most tragic events that happened in the world. And he has obviously done Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where the tragic killing of Sharon Tate. I don't know. Do you have an answer for that one, Hector? It's a good question. Oh yeah, you could say you've just put here 9/11. I don't know. I think 9/11 would be quite a hard film to, especially for Tarantino as well. Like really hard to do because it's quite a sensitive topic. Some films have actually made people have made a film on 9/11. It's kind of been quite mixed. I think it would be quite hard to do that. But it's an interesting question, Hector. It gets you thinking, but sometimes I'm not very good on the spot with these things, so sorry if I mess up your question. Anyway, Filmmaker 13 says the Blu-rays would be erased and you would have to go off memory. Okay. Have you seen Warrior of Tom Hardy? Super underrated sports movie. I haven't, unfortunately, Hunter. I'm torn right now, mate. Would you go for the premium collection of A Clockwork Orange or the new travel poster edition? The thing keeping me torn is the digital code, as I'd like to have it digitally. Oh yeah, because there was those new kind of what did you premium collection or the travel poster edition? Yeah, They look quite cool, actually. Well, I've got the HB Premium of A Clockwork Orange. And which one has it digitally? Which one has it digitally? If you're thinking about A Clockwork Orange, if premium, because premium collections usually have them digitally, but I don't think it works. I don't know for premium, but I'd go with premium. Obviously, I love premium collection; that they're great. And I think the artwork just looks better on the premium because some of the travel poster editions, some of them look good, and I'll probably get a few. But some of the artwork I'm not too keen on. The Clockwork Orange is one of them. The premium one, you get the really lovely poster of it. Of course, you get the slipcover. You know the whole deal. The spine number. Go with premium. Film B13. That's a really good one. Do you enjoy horror films? I do, if they're good. I mean, Hereditary, Midsummer, favorite films of all time. Love The Shining. I enjoy giallo films as well. Really like my Italian horror. Yeah, I enjoy horror a lot. Alex Pitt, I think you'll love 12 Angry Minutes. My top 20 films of all time. Hopefully I do, Alex, because with these kind of well-known big films, like I watched Sunset Boulevard, and that was kind of a big film that everyone talks about, and I'm still torn on that. It's always quite daunting going into these films. Like, it was very daunting to go in and watch The Godfather and Citizen Kane, and where it's like you really want to love them and be a part of the conversation, but sometimes they just don't connect, and you kind of like, do I actually, go through and put my opinion on this? But yeah. Because sometimes, sorry, just to go on to that, because sometimes I think that when I watch a big, well-known film that's, on Letterboxd has got so many 5-star ratings, I think when I don't enjoy it that much, I still am a little softer on it, just because I'm like, I don't know, it's hard. And sometimes upon rewatches, you kind of understand the film more and appreciate the film more, and even sometimes love the film more. Hunter Crawford says, what is your favorite movie of all time? I don't have a single favorite film of all time. That'd just be impossible to pick, Hunter. But some of them that I'll name for you is 2001: A Space Odyssey, 8.5, Goodfellas, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As I said, Godfather Part 2. Got my Letterboxd list up, and you'll just see. I don't want to miss any off. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course. Apocalypse Now, Back to the Future, Empire Strikes Back, Dark Knight, Hereditary, Midsummer, Taxi Driver, and The Incredibles. They're all my favourite films of all time. Ben Flute says, also thoughts on the TV show Peaky Blinders. I'm in the last episode of the 5th series. I haven't seen Peaky Blinders. I don't have a huge amount of time to watch shows. I did watch all of Mindhunter, though, because that was excellent and I was hooked. And so I probably would get hooked on Peaky Blinders because I hear that's great as well. But maybe one day I'll watch it. But I need to watch Breaking Bad as well. So anyway, Hector says, do you plan on watching the new Kevin Costner movie, Let Him Go? I don't actually, Hector. It just doesn't look great. It's got fine reviews, but I'm sure there'll just be another film that I want to watch more. Alex Pierce says, do you think Tarantino's next film will be his last, like he says? I think it probably will for a very long time. Like, he'd probably make that. He said that, I mean, he's got the book coming out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood book coming out next year. He'll probably make his, like, final film. Then he said that, like, he's going to go on to writing. He might write a book. Then he said something about directing theatre. That would be interesting to see a Tarantino directed play. That would just be insane. That would be awesome to watch. He could go on to do something in TV, but I think maybe one day he'd get an idea and he'd just have to tell it. Maybe 10 years later, maybe even 20 years later, but then he'd be super old. But we'll see what he does. But he's not going to go away. He isn't like he's going to make his final film and be like, bye everyone. Because he's an artist, he's going to get another idea. He's going to get something new going in his mind. He's going to want to express himself. D. Hollyoak. Hi, how's it going, Filmmaker? It's going very well, thank you, D. Hollyoak. Hope everything's well with you. Hector says, I would like to see him tackle the Colombians since back then some people blamed movies like his for influencing that type of violence in teens. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with that event, Hector, but the reason you stated is very interesting. So I'd probably go with that one. Filmgeek 13 is digitally, and he's put will do. We'll get the one of the weekend. Thanks for the advice. And also Filmgeek 13, the there's the 2 for £15 deal at premium, so it's buy one get one free. So get another one, get 2001, get Barry Lyndon, get Full Metal Jacket if you want to go for kind of like a Kubrick double bill, or just get anything you want out of the premium collection, because most of the films in there are fantastic. But yeah, buy one get one free. And if anyone's wondering like why am I not delving into this deal yet, I probably will pick up a few, but I'm not going to go crazy. Just because I spent a lot of money last month on films, and so I want to keep it low. Dialogue says, "How's your college film course going? What have you been up to?" It's going well. The new project we're doing isn't really to do with film. It's we've got to think of a film idea, and we've got to adapt that into a video game concept. We've got to come up with a poster for it, advertising, magazine cover, all of that. So it's going to be interesting, but it's not like I'm not thrilled about it, shall we say. But it's learning me skills, and I enjoy with the Photoshop. I enjoy with that, but I just don't really like the planning bit of that. It's just not interesting to me. But after that, so I think after that it would be around March time, April time. Then we go on to what we kind of want to do, and I do a short film. But my tutor did say that he'd probably want it around 3 to 5 minutes long, because he said, when you tend to make longer films, he'd rather want to watch a very solid, great piece just for 5 minutes rather than a longer film where moments are great and other moments aren't that good. He wants consistency. So it'll be very much a challenge for me to make a 5-minute film, because I've made a 3-minute film before, but it was, let me tell you what it was. It was called The Phone Call. So a kid wakes up, he has a phone call, and it's someone saying, don't go outside, blah, 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 blah. I made this years ago, by the way. It's not on YouTube, but I think I lost it or something like that. So then he's like, what are you on about? It's from a random number. He walks outside, turns out that the air is poisonous or something, and he dies. He wakes up, it was all a dream, and then he has a phone call, and I think he just dismisses the phone call, walks outside, and the film ends. That was it. So it wasn't exactly the most enthralling piece of entertainment, but that was that. I guess it's got a solid story. We came up with it. Me and my friend just came up with it on the spot. We weren't even going to make the film, but we thought, here's an idea. It's just something simple. Phone call. What could happen? So I guess it was creative enough. But yeah, I guess the 5-minute film would have to be set in one location. It's just, I enjoy big films. I enjoy big, grand films. I'm not very good at making things, shortening them down. I like to explore themes and characters and stuff like that. So I really have no idea what this film is going to be. I've got a long time to think about it, though. I'm glad he told me now, because I've got all the time to get inspiration I need. Because if he told me like in April and we don't have long to think of an idea, I'd have been in big trouble. Well, I wouldn't. I would have to have thought of an idea, but it wouldn't have been an idea I'd be happy with, I doubt. Anyway, Hector says, what's your favorite type of horror film? Probably psychological. Giallo, because I did watch a lot of Giallo in October. Giallo is good, but it's quite... well, I'll put it this way. Cannibal Holocaust, right? That's an Italian film, and I looked at who I think shot and edited it, and they have done many other Giallo films that I've seen, and they all kind of have the same strange feel to them from editing, cinematography, and an acting standpoint. Like they're all kind of, it's not high art, it's not great, but they're just fun to kind of watch. You know what you're getting into. It's going to be a random killer with black gloves on, black gloved killer going around. Who did it? Great visuals, and crazy makeup and things when people are killed. But I do love like the Argento horror. Dario Argento's Italian films like Suspiria and things, and That's been debated whether it's a giallo film or not. Yeah, it's been debated. I don't know if it would be. Horror film I'd recommend would be Sinister. Thank you, Joshua Boyd. I'll look into that. Darish, what camera do you use for your Blu-ray hauls? Is it a DSLR? I think it is. It's a Canon 200D. That's the camera I use for everything. All my videos, except for this one. This is through my computer lens thing, what you call it, webcam thing. But the camera I use for my videos is the same camera I use for my films as well. It's a Canon 200D, I think. Film Geek says, super happy. Arrow has a half-price sale on their website. Managed to just snag Bride of the Reanimator and Candyman. Good one, Film Geek 13. Candyman is great. And I haven't delved into that sale, unfortunately. And I've just been thinking, like, I've gone crazy and big and I've bought loads of Criterions in their sale. I've done the same for Premium, but I haven't done for Arrow. So maybe next time they have kind of a half-price sale, I might do that. I might go crazy. Premium collection is my HMV is only £215. Yeah, I'll probably get 2001. I need to rewatch. Yeah, I have many copies of 2001. I've got the premium 4K original Blu-ray. Don't want to get rid of that. FOP. The worst Robert De Niro and Al Pacino movie. Are you asking me? Are you asking me what is the worst, or is it FOP? Movie dude, what is it? And Darius says Jack and Jill. Thank God I have not watched that film. What's some of your favorite British films? Don't Look Now, The Third Man. Yeah, they'll be my favorite British films. Thank you. I'm guessing you're referring to my haircut there. No, FOP is a store, right? So I'm guessing you're asking. And Jack and Jill and Gigi. Yeah, I really don't like. Forgot what it's called now. What is it? Analyze This, something like that, with De Niro in, and he's a mob boss, and he has he's paranoid or something. He is. I don't know. It was a terrible film. So, yeah, I didn't like that. Dialogue says, have you been working on any new shorts outside your college? Or maybe new screenplay. Very nice, Dialogue, because I was just going to mention that. So here's the deal. At the beginning of this year, I had started work, literally, I think it was the 2nd of January, 2020, I started work on a film which I was wanting to make this year, but we scrapped the entire story for that, but we kept the name. It's Blood in the Trees. I'm sure the live stream regulars will have heard me mention this before. It's called Blood in the Trees, which I've been working on, and it's a very kind of ambitious project. It requires quite a lot of acting, actors, and extras and things like that. And so I was kind of, with the COVID thing, I just really wanted to make something, especially after my music video. I just thought, I loved making it. I want to make something, So I started kind of working on this new idea, kind of like this murder crime thing. But I'm just not feeling it at the moment. I'm not feeling it. And I was thinking the other day, I think I should go back to Blood in the Trees, because we finished the screenplay, but it needs a few more drafts. And so I'm gonna go back to that. That's one. So this murder thing, forget about that. I'm not really in the heart of it, but Blood in the Trees is something special, and that will get made. And I really do something special. I can't wait to make that film. And it's really, yeah. So hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I get it made next year now, obviously next year, but that will definitely get made. Again, fingers crossed next year. Walter says, Walter's here. Welcome, Walter. He says, hi, Lucas. Have you asked for some movies you'd like for Christmas that you're holding off buying? I have, Walter. Good question. I've asked for the Fellini box set. That's my big Christmas present, Fellini. Because everyone got it. Alec Cohen, Shane Harrison, but I want it for Christmas. That's my big one. Cannot wait for that. I've avoided all kind of images of it except for the official images Criterion put out. So I can't wait to just open it up. I'm sure I'll do a video including that set in there. Probably on Christmas Day I'll watch 8.5 as well, because that's just. I'm going to be doing a video actually at the end of the year about my journey with Criterion, because it started this year. I started collecting Criterion film Blu-rays this year, so I'm going to do a video on that, about how my collection has grown and all sorts, and about Fellini and the box sets. It's going to be great. I've got some great videos lined up for us this month. I'm really happy about this. Anyway, what film are you hoping to watch in the near future? If you're asking about like an anticipated film, obviously not going to be a new release, but like an anticipated film that I've got on Blu-ray that I'm hoping to watch soon. Ooh, if that's what you're asking, Joshua, you might be asking like something else, like an anticipated film at the cinema, but it would be definitely 12 Angry Men, because I want to watch that by the end of the year. If I get it for Christmas, I really want to watch It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen that yet. It's a Christmas classic, apparently. So I really want to watch that. That's exciting. Hopefully I like it, because, again, it's always very daunting, especially the older films. I don't understand, but, like, classic Hollywood, I have a hard time, connecting with on a first viewing. And I don't know why, but it happens. But I'm glad I can, give space between the films and then watch them again and enjoy them like I did with The Third Man. I love The Third Man now. I think it's great. When I first watched it, not so much, but now I really like it. And probably a few others. I have noted down on my notes films that I really want to watch this month before the end of the year. So if it's like I'm excited to watch Gremlins. That's on Now TV. I haven't seen Gremlins yet. I'm excited to watch Phantom Thread again as well. I want to watch that around Christmas time. Hopefully I really like it. But yeah, those are the kind of the ones. Dog Day Afternoon. Have you seen it? No. Sorry, I will watch it. I really want to watch it, maybe, dude. Have you seen It Follows the Guest? They're both fantastic. Unfortunately, not Alex. I haven't yet. Found a pretty cool edition of Glorious Bastards a couple of weeks ago. Came in a nice metallic cardboard sleeve and some art cards. A recipe for strudel. I think I might have seen that Film Geek 13. I just got the average Blu-ray. Yeah, I bet that'd be nice. Darius asks, what is your favorite Christmas film and why? I'd have to go with either Elf or Home Alone. Probably because both films I always watch with the family. Both films are utterly hilarious. I remember when I first watched Home Alone, it was with my grandma and it was just on TV. And we just turned it on at the point where Kevin had set all the traps. And I laughed out loud throughout the entire sequence where he set all the traps. It was hilarious. I loved that. Still cherish that memory to this day. And Elf, watch every year. One of the best comedies. You just laugh out loud every time you watch it. We got to save it for Christmas. Also, I just thought of another one now. Oh, yeah, the Paddington films. We usually watch those around New Year's and Christmas. Paddington films are so nice and cozy to watch with the family as well, and really funny. So I'd give those ones. So nice. Anyway, Erin, she asks, or he, sorry, what director? So, Erin, are you all right just to tell me if you are what gender you are, just so I don't get it? Because I'm pretty sure Erin is it a boy and girl name? And I've known a girl once who had the name Erin, so that's why I said she. You might be a, I just don't want to offend you. Anyway, what director do you think has never made a bad film? Right now, Scorsese. Yeah, Kubrick has made Fear and Desire. That was terrible. Erin also asks, how are you making quality films under COVID precautions? Well, hopefully COVID precautions will be lightened because, well, again, if you're asking about Blood in the Trees with its big kind of thing, hopefully by the time we get round to shooting it, because we're still, needs a few more drafts, COVID cautions will be reduced. / how do you plan to? Yeah, again, I'm probably wearing masks and, the average things like that. Dialog says, all the best of Blood in the Trees. What filmmaker do you feel you need to see more of their work? Well, I've actually got a list of filmmakers who I need to check out more of. So some of these, like I've just listed filmmakers who I've seen like maybe one or two films from. So you've got like Paul Thomas Anderson, Akira Kurosawa, Ingmar Bergman, Charlie Chaplin, Fritz Lang, Orson Welles, Billy Wilder, Oliver Stone, Ozu, Pedro Almodovar, Makasaki Kobayashi, Andrei Tarkovsky, F.W. Murren, Jean-Luc Godard, Francis Truffaut. You get the idea. The list goes on for quite a while. So I might be exposing how I have not seen that many fantastic directors yet, but I'm working on it. You know, Argento, Antonioni, Jean-Pierre Melvin, Agnes Varda, Jacques Tach, Gregor Kiri, Paul Pressburger. Yeah, just all those film directors. I've seen the odd film from them, a few of them, like Bergman. I've seen like 3 of his films, but I really want to watch more of their work. Also, have you explored much of the French New Wave? Not much, actually. I've seen Breathless and I've seen The Young Girls of Russia Font, something like that. Both are okay. The Young Girls of Russia Font, I really didn't like at all. Breathless it's not the most entertaining piece of cinema ever. I know it's really influential and the editing and performances are good, but yeah, it's not extremely engaging. My sister has changed from Conjuring 3 to Blood in the Trees. Thank you, Film Week 13. I hope everyone. Hopefully, it's a success. Hopefully, it's a success. Because yeah, hopefully it's just hopefully it's not bad. Also, have you had a chance to check out Home Alone 7 yet? That was just a joke. I think me and Walter did when Walter was a guest on the live stream talking about Home Alone films. How many terrible sequels there are. Home Alone 2 is a good sequel. I really like Home Alone 2, but the other 3, I think, not good. What is the best time to start watching Christmas films? I would say the 20th of December onwards. That's when I'm in full Christmas gear, full Christmas spirit, ready to fully appreciate Christmas films. And Erin is a girl, but I'm a boy. All right, thank you for the clarification. Opinion on Django De Santana? Oh, I really don't know. Let's have a look. I'm guessing they're a film director. Not entirely familiar with their work. This is a film. Oh yeah, it is. It's a film. What? This is a very kind of out there film. I'm just looking. Only 78 people have watched it on Letterboxd. No. How would I? Who is this? Oh, you're the person that always asks me about really crazy films that I haven't seen, like really obscure films. Makes me look like I don't know anything. No, I'm not. I've not seen it. I mean, only 9 people on Letterboxd have actually written a review for this film. This Django, whatever it's called. No, I've not seen it. Alex Pitt, are you a fan of any DCU films? That is a thing. I do need to rewatch some of them because I remember liking Batman v Superman, and then that's a bit of a controversial opinion, but I remember actually liking the film. I've got the Blu-ray. I think I've got every DCU movie on Blu-ray. So I want to watch that again. I'll watch Wonder Woman again, ready for the 1984 film. Whether I get to watch it or not, it'll just give me an excuse to rewatch it, see how it holds up. But yeah, I like Batman v Superman. At this moment in time, though, I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a few years. Avoid. Have you ever thought about shooting a film opposed to digital, such as 16mm film? It's no, I've never really thought about that because I guess if I chose that, it would be probably quite an expensive endeavor, a new endeavor as well to shoot. And if I want to make something look like it's been shot on 16mm, I can do that in post anyway. I don't really have a big reason to want to go the extra mile to shoot it on 16mm. But my partner, in filmmaking, who will direct the Blood in the Trees with me. I'm writing the film, but me and him will be directing it. He even mentioned, do you want to shoot it on 16mm? But I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know yet. Because I've got all my equipment as well tailored to the digital, cameras, and it would just make sense if I wanted. I could just make it look like it was on 16mm instead of risk shooting an entire film on 16mm, putting all the money into it. He's not going to pay for it. I doubt he's going to pay for the camera. I provide all the equipment, all the gear. What film do you want to upgrade to next format? Good question. Well, really good question, Filmmaker 13. The Back to the Future films. I want to get the Back to the Future trilogy on 4K. And while I'm here talking about 4K, I was going to post this on the Big Poorly group chat, but I don't know if anyone else can help me. I watched Knives Out in 4K the other week, and I thought something looked a little off about it. I don't know if this is my settings. If it is, then it might be, but I have tried to change them and things, and that's why I thought about putting it on the Big Poorly group chat, but everything looked a lot darker. And I was under the impression HDR made things pop. And then I put on the Blu-ray and everything looked a lot more brighter and more vivid and more nice. Like, for example, in the bit where Jamie Lee Curtis's character is being kind of talked to by the police and she's wearing kind of a pink thing, whatever it is, you can see it more. It pops on screen, but on the 4K, the colors are kind of all muted a bit. And the darker tones are definitely more, they're just more darker tones. Like when Daniel Craig is in the corner smoking like a cigar, and when Marta leaves the party, you can barely see him. So I don't know. I thought, HDR was made to make colors pop and things, but those colors were muted. And I was like, well, why? The Blu-ray will be better in that case because I can see things more clearly, but it's still, looks great quality and things pop and things look nice. D. Hulk says, I feel the same about Breathless. I most feel I should love it due to its influence on cinema. Yeah, so did I. I thought, well, what was that about? Why is people hailing it as a masterpiece? I was not completely enthralled by it, but I think really now the general thing is it's not that. I mean, everyone, can say it's very influential, but they can't say it's the most entertaining piece of cinema they've seen. You should make Home Alone 8. I could do one day. DLX says, what film that needs Blu-ray? After Hours needs one. It definitely does. Also, Panic Room needs a Blu-ray. I'd like to own everything that David Finch has done on Blu-ray. Even though Panic Room isn't one of his best films, it's a very solid thriller, and I'd like a Blu-ray release. Sam is here. Welcome, Sam. He says, do you own the Criterion of Roma? Just got it from HMV as it's on sale. It's such good value for money. The booklet is the biggest I've seen for a digipack, perfectly fitting for a masterpiece. I do own Roma on Criterion Blu-ray. Thank you for the question, Sam. Darius asks, any reviews coming up? No, actually. No, I reviewed Mank just so I could, get a review out. I haven't reviewed a film in a while. Probably not for Wonder Woman 1984. Probably not for that. Yeah, probably not. I mean, if I do a Blu-ray haul, a mini review of a film, if I've seen the film, will be in there. Duke says, you cannot replicate the look of film. It is just feels much more professional. That wonderful grain and colours. It's not overly expensive and appears so much better. I know, but it's still quite. It's a new thing for me, and I don't want to risk it all. And you can add implements in there, like Knives Out. Talking about Knives Out, that was shot digitally, and they went to extreme lengths to make that film. They gave it film grain. They even had to do things with like reflections and things to make it look authentic to film. Yeah, You think 4K transitions can make some films appear more dated? It's subjective to the film, really. Dated, specifically older films generally. I don't really own that many older films in 4K, Aaron, so I can't really comment on that. I don't know what's the oldest film I own in 4K. I own Goodfellas on 4K. That's like 1990. I don't know. I think that's the oldest film I own in 4K. I own Scarface actually, but I haven't seen Scarface on 4K yet. Get a drink. Right. Got some more comments here. Oh, yeah, we've got Oliver Hyde. Breathless is wonderfully French, though. It is, yeah. I'd agree with that, Oliver. Breathless is very stylistic. French suave. Harvester, what is your favorite Arrow film that you own? It is. Favorite Arrow film would probably be Candyman. Yeah. I really, really like Candyman. So I got my Arrow films are here. Or maybe Old Boy or Candyman. I think I would watch Candyman more because Old Boy is very intense, but Old Boy is probably, yeah, they're both really good. James Friend, what are your thoughts on the future of cinema post-pandemic? Post-pandemic, so pandemic's over. I think things should relatively turn back to normal. People have been saying like there's still going to be cinemas, but they might be owned by different people. There's kind of been the speculation that studios could buy out cinemas, like there could just be a Disney cinema. Say if like the big cinema chains fall through, but it's really hard to tell at this point. I mean, anything can kind of happen. If I was to edit my film like Breathless and submit it for my coursework, I'd get marked down for bad editing, which proves why it's hard to grade art. Yeah, that's good as well. It is hard because it's all subjective. It's all subjective. One piece of cinema someone could adore and love. Same piece someone could absolutely hate and think it was awfully acted, awfully edited. But the other person might think it's the whole point. Maybe they know it and understand it and connect to it. So it is hard, to grade art. Yeah. Have you seen American Psycho? Watched it over the weekend. Personally, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was solid. 4.5 out of 5. I have seen American Psycho. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Well shot, well acted. It's a good film. You got Christian Bale. It's funny as well. It's a nice dark comedy. Now, I should probably watch that again. Might get a 4K of that, actually. No, it's really good. What are your thoughts on No Time to Die so far? Well, from what I've seen of it, from what I've seen of the trailers and things, I'm not overly. I did my trailer reaction. I just think it looks a little too big, a little too bold. I just wish we could have a nice kind of On Her Majesty's Secret Service-esque Bond film again, where it's kind of just Bond going on a mission. It's no big, epic thing where he's riding around and doing all these crazy things. I just want more of a contained Bond film. Could be great, but yeah, and I just think the way it's shot and the way, because I know Cary Fukunaga, I think I'm saying his name right there, the way he kind of does it, it's a bit distracting. It's a bit distracting, the way the colors and cinematography. I mean, it looks quite nice, but I don't know, it looks quite distracting. We'll be going back to classic Hollywood if production companies own cinemas. The studio system. Probably will. Yeah. Aaron says, do you know Lahane? I got the BFI Blu-ray of that. Yeah. I really want to watch that. Have you seen any Shane? Have you seen any Shane Meadows? Shane Meadows films. He's a great British filmmaker. Dead Man's Shoes is my second favorite film of all time, and his series of Virtues, which came out last year, was amazing. Shane Meadows, no. This is great when I have people recommend me things because it's great to learn about all these different people that I'm not familiar with. Shane Meadows. Ah, yes, he's done Mrs. England. This is England. And Dead Man's Shoes. Yeah. But no, I haven't seen any of his films, unfortunately. I was shocked to find out there was a musical version of American Psycho. Would have liked to see it, but got cancelled, I believe. That would have been interesting. That would have been very interesting. Okay, what your opinion on 10 Little Indians, 1965? It's pretty badass. Well, I don't know. It's probably going to be a film that only 2 people have seen on Letterboxd, so we'll see. I've not heard of it. 10 Little Indians. Well, actually, 1.2 thousand people have seen it on Letterboxd, but still, I haven't seen it. No, sorry. And Nicholas is here. Welcome, Nicholas. How are you? How are you? It's great to have you. We're actually like 15 minutes or so closing up, but again, it's great that you could pop in for a few minutes. Yeah, this is England. This is England. Do you know Mike Lee? I do know Mike Lee. The Void. What a great mystery. 10 Little Indians will keep you guessing straight up the end. Glad to see other people have seen it. The Void and Duke Badass Mitchell, you guys should get together and discuss your films. I don't know how you find out about these films. Please, actually, how do you know about these films? Especially, are you like into a certain kind of genre of films, like really kind of obscure independent stuff? Living Alfie movie reviews. What are your thoughts on the Men in Black movies? I think the first one's quite fun. I think I've seen the second one, which was, it's fine. Third one I haven't seen. Latest one with Chris Hemsworth is shockingly terrible. Dear Luke, have you seen Breaking Out the Dead? I thought you said Breaking Bad then. Have you seen is that Bringing Out the Dead? There we go, yeah. I've heard of it. That's why I thought Bringing Out the Dead. Let's have a look, though. I haven't seen it. Sorry, D. Holyoke. Yes, of course, Scorsese. I will be watching it because it's Scorsese. I need to get that on Blu-ray at some point or find it on streaming. King Nicholas has arrived. I'm doing good, man. Just 1 week left and I have 3-week Christmas break. That's great, Nicholas. Yeah, next week will be my last week of schoolwork, thank God. And then I'm off for 2 weeks. So, yeah, you get an extra week. So, lucky you. For me, I get 2, which is still going to be great. So, yeah, hopefully you have a great time, Nicholas, for your Christmas break. Maybe some more new uploads on the channel. Best zombie film, Filmgeek 13 asks. I'd either go Shaun of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead. A tough choice for me. Shaun of the Dead. For me, Shaun of the Dead. I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead yet. Filmgeek 13. Do you think you'd rewatch Synecdoche, New York? I would, because that's a film that quite had me on the edge, kind of had me like, yeah, it's an interesting film I often think about. But yeah, I'd watch it again, see if I like it more. I agree in that one with Chris Hemsworth. That sucks so bad. Yes, I'm glad we could agree, Louis and Alfie. D. Hollywood says, unfortunately, no Blu-ray for Bringing Out the Dead. They need to do this. There's no Blu-ray for Bringing Out the Dead. There's no Blu-ray. No Blu-ray for After Hours. Scorsese would be disappointed. He'd be disappointed. Have you seen any other Charlie Kaufman stuff? I've seen I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I've seen some of the films he has written, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I've seen that one, which I would like to watch again because I remember watching it, and that's great. I think I've seen another one he's written as well, but yeah, those are the ones. Nicholas says, the colleges around have around a month. Wow, that's great. Wow, but anyway, Oliver says, is that a film so disturbing you'd never watch it again? For me, it's I Saw the Devil because I found it unwatchable in scenes. The gore didn't enhance the plot, in my opinion. Well, I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which will be up there, but I've actually seen that more than once. I've seen that twice, but it isn't a film that I'd revisit every year. I've seen it, yeah, but not a film I would, watch But no. Anyway, The Void says, what's something you wish you could go back and change about Hyde? Good question. Many things. Many things. The thing about Hyde is I had to change the story halfway through production because, well, things happened, people dropped out, and so people didn't turn up, actors didn't turn up. So I had to pretty much halfway through, luckily everything we shot up until that point could have been used, but halfway through I had to kind of change the direction the story would go in, like the middle part. So the beginning was pretty much the same, the ending was pretty much the same. It's kind of just the way he got to that end point was different, and I wish I could do a bit more world building with what I tried to do, because I tried to kind of set up these two, because I tried to do kind of a commentary thing. So there was these two political parties, Animosity, very on the nose named Animosity, they're the bad guy party, and then there was another party, and it was basically quite a political message there, because when Hyde says, when he reads out the thing when he's about to shoot the junkie, he says, there's no firearms shall not be used, something like that. And this is dated 2016. So I'm trying to say, I think bad things happened in 2016, like the Brexit thing. I don't want to get too political here. So yeah, that I wanted to, just flesh that out a bit more. We did have the kind of Animosity political speech that was playing in the background, where he was kind of pointing out his views, how they made murder legal under the circumstance that you kill someone where you have a reason. You can't just go around killing people. Say if someone robs you, you can go shoot them. That's fine, because this person thinks that, you have the right to do that. But all that kind of wasn't fleshed out the way I wanted it to be, just because we changed that halfway through. So yeah, that's probably my biggest thing. But good question. And by the way, in like 9 minutes, guys, we're going to be wrapping up. Just to let you know, what's your favorite Christmas film? Mine is Christmas Vacation. I'd go Home Alone or Elf. Very existential. Charlie Kaufman makes me feel sad, but also happy. Yeah, he is quite an existential. If I can actually speak. But yeah. And I do want to watch Anomalisa as well, what Kaufman directed. Walter Robinson says, have you seen Train to Busan? I'd say it's probably my favourite zombie film. That is one I haven't seen. Not yet, anyway. And Louis Alfie Movie Review says, have you seen Wild Wild West with Will Smith? I haven't. Diallo says, have you seen Requiem for a Dream? That's on Amazon Prime. Gotta check that out, but I haven't seen it. Nicholas, have you seen Spirited Away? I'm watching that with my film class today, and I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. I know it feels like I haven't seen any films, but I will watch it. It's on Netflix. So, Requiem for a Dream is that disturbed me. I never watched more. Requiem for a Dream is one that disturbed me. I never watched a film more visually engaging. Well, that's a good sign. I can't wait to watch it. What was the original Hyde story, or would you like to save that for another time? It would make a good YouTube video and title. Well, I did talk about that. I don't know if you've seen this, Erin, but I did a documentary on the making of Hyde, and within that, I kind of tell you, and within that documentary, you do see a scene that was shot for the original vision, if you will, my original vision of Hyde. That one scene we shot that, we had actors in it, but it never got put in because we changed the story. So if you haven't seen that documentary, go watch that, because that pretty much tells you what it is. Oh, we've had another question about Hyde. Oh, all these nice questions about Hyde. I love talking about the films that I've made, though, so I can say so much, so that's great. If you could get another filmmaker to direct Deadly Obsession and Hyde, other than Kubrick and Scorsese, who would you pick? That's a good question. Let me have a look at some people that I think would do a great job at doing it. I might go with Ari Aster or David Fincher. Yeah. And we've just got someone up here, Bertel Cool. Hopefully I've said your name correctly. Criterion or Masters of Cinema, which do you prefer? Criterion. D. Hollyoak, is there a theme that you'd like to explore in your films, and is there a recurring theme or style in your films that you're aware of? There is a certain bit of style that I've kind of become aware of and like to do more of, which is kind of the opening and closing shot are kind of connected, and I like to bring things full circle at the end. For example, Deadly Obsession, that was the main one. Deadly Obsession, the opening shot is of a spider in a trapped in this bathtub, which has no relation to the film whatsoever. However, it is a metaphor for the relationship between John and Hyde. The spider can be both seen as John and Hyde, because the spider in that situation is John because he's trapped, but then it's Hyde because it's manipulation. And then after that shot, we have a shot coming into the forest where it's coming in, and then the final shot of Deadly Obsession, we pull out of the forest. So, we begin the film coming into the forest, we end the film leaving the forest, where everything happens. So that's kind of the main thing. The boy says, Blood Beat is my favorite Christmas movie, possibly the greatest samurai movie ever made. Blood Beat, I have to see that, Void. Are you saying that's better than Seven Samurai? It's a big statement. Wow, well, it's got mixed reviews on Letterboxd, Void. It's got 2.8 overall. That is not good. But I don't know if you'd say that's better than Seven Samurai. Nicholas, as many people say the jokes in Elf get old fast, but I've seen the movie every year and it still cracks me to this day. That's exactly how I feel, Nicholas, exactly how I feel. Every year we watch it just once a year, and every time it's a laugh out loud. And Fistful Reviews also says Elf never gets old. And is this Fistful $0 or someone who always likes my Letterboxd reviews? If it is, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Aaron says The Holy Mountain is my favorite looking film. I'm excited to watch that. I'd like to get the Alejandro Jodorowsky box set. I saw parts of the documentary but never got to finish it. Yeah, hopefully. Fistful, which do you prefer more, Goodfellas or Godfather? That is a hard question. That is a very hard question. I'd probably go with Goodfellas. Yeah, I'd go with Goodfellas because I prefer Godfather Part 2 to Godfather Part 1. But Godfather's still incredible. Still incredible film. But Goodfellas, yeah, I've seen Goodfellas more times. And yes, you are. Yes, well, I can kind of finally say to you, Fistful of Dollars, thank you for liking my reviews. It's really appreciative. What are your favorite horror movies and why? Hereditary and Midsommar. Well, I don't have long because I've got to wrap up in like a few minutes. This is the time that my little brother goes to bed, so I can't go out for too long. But sorry. Terrible. I don't know about anyone else, but getting cold is terrible. I mean, I don't have a cold, luckily, not yet. Hopefully, I stay on that side, but my nose is always running. Oh, it's not good. And usually around this time of year, I do get a cold, but I want to avoid it because everyone's going to think you got COVID as well because you're coughing all the time. Anyway, well, since I don't have long, Bertel, hopefully I'm saying your name right, just check my Letterboxd for reviews of Midsommar and Hereditary, and all shall be explained. Sorry for the lazy answer, but I do have to wrap up. Anyway, Nicholas says, I'm going to be showing my Remix Prestige sometime this week, hopefully. I hope they like it. That's interesting because Prestige has always been one of the Nolan films which I haven't really gravitated to that most. I wanted to like it, but I just haven't. Yeah. So hopefully they do like it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Well, none of them have seen it, right? Well, I was just going to say I finally caught up with the comments, but Nicholas just put Hereditary as the best horror film, which, well, it's one of the best, Nicholas. One of the best. I agree with that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the live stream. If anyone's got any closing thoughts, feel free to put them down. I've got some very exciting videos coming your way very soon, all month through. So hopefully you all enjoyed them. Hopefully you all watch them. And I appreciate everyone who joined today. You know, the regulars of Erin and Nicholas and Film Geek 13, D Hollyoak, Darius, to James, everyone, thank you. Oliver Hyde as well. Erin, if I haven't already said. Alex Pitt, Movie Dude. Thank you all. All the best. Thank you. It's been so much fun. Glad I could catch a bit. Thank you as well, Nicholas. And glad I could catch a bit of your live stream on that early morning, that one time. So it's great to catch each other's live stream. And Film Week 13 says, Hereditary, the only film ever to scare me. Well, that says something there, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to have to blow my nose after this because it's running. But yes, thank you, Film Week 13. Oh, and thank you, Walter, as well. Sorry, Walter, I missed you out. I couldn't find your comment. But yeah, thank you for watching, Walter. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you again in the next video.